Hello, I am Victor Sagardi, a student from City University of Seattle, and during this video, I will talk about the fundamentals of group communication. First of all, we need to know what communication is. Communication is something more than speaking or writing. Communication is a two-way exchange that involves a speaker and a listener. But do not think that during this communication process only two people are required. It could have as many people as necessary. For example, in a lecture, there is a presenter and an audience with many persons. There are two different types of communication: personal communication and business communication. The first one is the type of communication that you have with your friends or relatives. On the other hand, the second kind of communication is more formal and specific than the first one, and you use it more in your workplace or while you are having conversation with persons that you just met. It is important to remark that facts are more used in this kind of communication, while in personal communication we tend to use more the emotions. Now that we know what communication is, let's continue to know more about groups. In business, you will be required to work in groups in order to accomplish achievements and goals. That is why a group, according to businessdictionary.com, is considered as a collection of individuals who have regular contact and frequent interaction, common feeling of camaraderie, and who work together to achieve common set of goals. Therefore, we can say that communication in a group should be formal and detailed. In a group, every member plays the role of a speaker and the role of listener, making the communication interactive. The reason of that is in order to share opinions, then evaluate them, and finally reach the goal set at the beginning. However, teamwork also may cause tension and anxiety among employees if there be a poor communication. That is why effective communication is important, because it can eliminate much of the stress and negative feelings that could be generated while the project is being done in team. But what should the members of the group do to have an effective communication? First of all, members in a group should have an open mind, engage in active listening, and have a clear understanding of project goals and requirements. What does active listening involve? It involves note-taking, asking relevant questions, and repeating what other person says to verify clarity. The company in general also needs to be involved to ensure that its employees know how to communicate effectively. This could happen if the company purchases training materials or hires business consulting companies that specialize in interpersonal communication. Other option that could use companies is to send their employees to seminars related to this topic. Inside an organization, we can find numerous ways to communicate ourselves to our partners. These types of communication include email, traditional letter writing, phone conversations, face-to-face meetings or virtual meetings, and numerous technological tools as an intranet. However, employees need to know the different etiquette rules and skill sets that those types of communication have. With proper training, people will be able to use the correct one to transmit the message they will want. Managers within an organization should be always aware of the first signs of poor communication. Missed project deadlines and slow progress toward problem solving can be some of those signs. Also, the leaders that are responsible of the small groups should also be aware. Some signs of poor communication within small groups are the time spent while discussing strategies rather than implementing them, or the lack of focus on the goals discussed since the beginning. As I have been saying, in order to avoid that, it's necessary to build an action plan which could help to train employees in their communication style. That will help to change the working environment in a positive way, which will also help to increase productivity and revenues. As conclusion, building an effective communication will help the organization which you work for to determine the success of project that requires teamwork. When team members communicate with open minds and asking questions every time there is one instead of making assumptions, will build an environment based on trust, and harmony will exist in your workplace. So thank you for your attention, and I hope you keep improving your communication skills to work better in teams.